The Dyatlov Pass Incident. In 1959, 9 Soviet hikers died mysteriously in the Ural Mountains. Their tent was torn open from the inside. Some were found barefoot in the snow. One had a crushed skull, another was missing a tongue. No signs of struggle, but radiation was detected on their clothes. Theories range from military experiments to paranormal events. To this day, no one knows what really happened. The Voynich Manuscript, discovered in the early 1900s, this 240-page book is written in an unknown language with bizarre illustrations of plants, astronomy, and naked women in tubes. Despite decades of study by linguists and cryptographers, including code breakers from World War II, the script and its meaning remain completely undeciphered. The disappearance of flight MH370. In 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 vanished with 239 people on board. The plane changed course unexpectedly and was never found, except for a few scattered pieces of wreckage. Despite multi-nation searches costing hundreds of millions of dollars, the main wreckage and flight data recorders were never recovered. The reason for its disappearance remains unknown. The WOW signal. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a strong narrowband radio signal from space. It lasted 72 seconds and has never been detected again. Astronomer Jerry Eamon circled it and wrote "Wow," hence the name. To this day, no one knows what caused it. An alien message, a natural phenomenon, or just a glitch. The Somerton Man. In 1948, a well-dressed man was found dead on an Australian beach. No ID, no signs of violence, and his fingerprints matched no one. In his pocket, a tiny piece of paper reading "Tamam Shud," Persian for "it is finished." A hidden code and a rare book were later found, adding to the mystery. His identity was unknown for decades, only recently narrowed down by DNA, but no one knows how or why he died. The Taos Hum residents of Taos, New Mexico have reported a low-frequency hum since the 1990s. But not everyone hears it. The sound has no identifiable source. Scientists have failed to trace it to machinery, geology, or even psychological causes. It remains a persistent and baffling auditory mystery. The Zodiac Killer. In the 1960s and 70s, the Zodiac Killer terrorized California, sending encrypted letters to newspapers. He claimed responsibility for at least 5 murders, but possibly many more. Some of his ciphers have been cracked, but key ones remain unsolved. The killer was never caught. Even after decades of investigation, his identity is still unknown. The Pollock twins. In 1957, 2 young sisters died in a car crash in England. A year later, their mother gave birth to twin girls. As they grew, the twins began identifying places and toys from their deceased sisters' lives. Things they were never exposed to. Some believe it's evidence of reincarnation. Scientists are skeptical. There's no clear explanation. The Overtown Bridge in Dumbarton, Scotland, over 600 dogs have jumped from the same bridge, falling to their deaths. Witnesses say dogs suddenly leap off with no warning. Theories include scent trails, sound frequencies, or even a magnetic anomaly. But no one agrees on why it keeps happening, or why it started. The Green Children of Woolpit. In the 12th century, 2 children appeared in an English village. They spoke an unknown language, wore strange clothes, and had green skin. The boy died, but the girl grew up and integrated into society. She claimed they came from a twilight land underground. Many think it's folklore, but some records suggest it was real and still unexplained. The Black Knight satellite. Some believe a mysterious satellite has orbited Earth for thousands of years. Known as the Black Knight, it's allegedly been spotted in NASA photos and picked up in early radio transmissions. NASA claims it's space debris. Conspiracists say it's alien. There's no official proof either way. The Max Headroom signal hijack. In 1987, someone hacked 2 Chicago TV broadcasts wearing a Max Headroom mask. The hijacker delivered bizarre, cryptic messages before the signal was cut. Despite FBI involvement, the culprit was never caught. It remains one of the most sophisticated unsolved hacks in broadcast history. The Havana Syndrome. Since 2016, U.S. diplomats and intelligence officers in Cuba and other countries have reported bizarre symptoms: dizziness, hearing strange sounds, memory loss, and nausea. No clear cause has been identified. Theories range from microwave weapons to mass psychogenic illness. Despite investigations by the CIA and global health experts, no definitive answers exist. The lost colony of Roanoke. In 1587, over 100 English settlers arrived at Roanoke Island. By 1590, the colony had vanished. No bodies, no signs of struggle. The only clue, the word Croatoan carved into a tree. No one knows if they were killed, assimilated into a nearby tribe, or something else. Their fate remains one of America's oldest historical mysteries: the Hexam Heads. In 1971, 2 small stone heads were found buried in a garden in Hexham, England. Soon after, strange events occurred. Objects moved, animals acted terrified, and a werewolf-like creature was reportedly seen. Later analysis couldn't date the heads conclusively. Were they ancient artifacts, a hoax, or something paranormal? Still debated, still unexplained. The Men in Black beyond the Hollywood version. Real reports of Men in Black go back decades. Witnesses describe mysterious, emotionless men in black suits who appear after UFO sightings. They intimidate, erase evidence, and vanish without a trace. Government agents, mass hysteria, alien enforcers, their existence is unconfirmed, but the consistency of stories is chilling. The Hinterkaifeck Farm Murders, Germany, 1922. 6 members of the Gruber family were lured one by one into their Bavarian barn and killed with a mattock. Days earlier, the family reported hearing footsteps in the attic and seeing unfamiliar tracks in the snow leading to, but not away from, the house. Nothing was stolen, and the killer apparently lived in the farmstead for days after, feeding the livestock. Despite 100-plus suspects over a century, no perpetrator was ever identified. The SS Orang Medan ghost ship. A distress message picked up in 1947 read, "All officers including captain dead, I die." Rescuers found the Dutch freighter drifting in the Strait of Malacca. Every crew member lay dead, eyes wide, arms outstretched in terror. Yet no injuries were visible. Before a tow could begin, the ship exploded and sank. No official records of the vessel exist, and the cause, chemical leak, carbon monoxide, or legend, remains unverified. The Lead Masks case, Rio de Janeiro, 1966. 2 electronics technicians were found dead on a hillside wearing formal suits, waterproof coats, and homemade lead masks covering their eyes. Nearby lay a notebook with the cryptic line, 1630 be at agreed place. 1830 ingest capsules after effect protect metals await signal. Autopsies were inconclusive. The capsules were never found. Whether an amateur sci-fi experiment, cult ritual, or foul play, no explanation fits all the evidence. The Tamam Shud DNA twist, an eerie postscript to Mystery 5, The Somerton Man. In 2022, Australian geneticists tentatively identified him as Carl Charles Webb, a Melbourne engineer who vanished in 1947. Yet key puzzles persist. Why were none of Webb's relatives reported missing? How did his rare DNA markers end up matching only distant branches? And what links him to the Persian phrase Tamam Shud and the secret code in the Rubaiyat? The ID solved part of the puzzle, but the motive and circumstances of death remain as murky as ever. Some of these mysteries might never be solved. Others might just be waiting for the right mind to crack the code. Until then, they stay where they belong, unsolved, unexplained, and endlessly fascinating.